Hi guys, welcome back to Sacred Tips on how to navigate them. So I had a pretty cool walk. That's funny. On that box it says 3636. I'm pretty curious what 3636 stands for, but another time I guess. I had a pretty cool walk and I had a really profound experience with it, I guess. So I got a couple downloads to share. And I'm setting the intention that this reaches whoever it needs to reach, and I'm super grateful for each and every one of you. Okay, so I wrote down manifestations are so close. It's always hardest right before the level up. So if things are like really crazy in the 3D, there's a reason for it, you know. Um, I I think like grounding into gratitude is really going to help you get through this stage, though, right? And really, I think it's going to help you to be grateful when your blessings come in because you're going to be like, oh, dang, like this is how good it can be, you know? Um, so, yeah, of course it feels hard right now because the hard has a reason, right? So that we can be like truly grateful for the good when it comes in, right? And recognize like it's all good, right? Um, so yeah. Uh, and then I wrote Rockchuck Sparrow, White Truck Pharaoh. You'll get it why by the end of this. That was just so I could remember it because I literally didn't bring my phone with me. And then like I had just such a profound experience. Um, and just got a bunch of downloads from it. So it was pretty cool, but I didn't have my phone so I had to make up a rhyme. And that's the rhyme I made up in order to remember what I wanted to write down for my downloads, right? And then I wrote, connect to the ancient wisdom within you. And then I wrote ducks galore, LOL, because there's mad ducks. They were everywhere. But I know ducks symbolize protection. I also wrote down what they mean as well. Got my notes. So yeah. And then I wrote the bully wound. So there was these notes on this rock and on a freaking fence post, right? And they were like, it was really weird. One of them said, like, I don't want to be forced to go to church anymore. And I had these little sad faces. And then another one of them said, I was told if I go to Maverick, I'll be tased by these other kids. And I'm sick of being teased by these kids. So it was weird. It was like these kids like speaking out about something being done to them by either their parents um, or kids, their peers. You know what I mean? And so it really made me think on like how we all have this bully wound, right? Um, and I wrote the bully wound, whether it's be parents, peers, or yourself, um, it isn't yours. It isn't yours to keep. You got it as a child from an unhealed parent or peer, right? Um, it's time to break the cycle. And so, yeah, like we have to let go of this inner critic, the inner judge, right? That wants to just bully ourselves, right? Because we were once bullied, and I think we're being called to heal this. Like, you think because it happened like that long ago, I I I'm like, what? That's the healing you guys have been calling me to do? The bullying from childhood? Oh. Okay. We're doing that then, I guess. Thank you. But it's funny because that's the last thing I expected that needed to be acknowledged. That was the last thing I expected that I needed to acknowledge. But something in those notes brought it out of me. I was like, whoa, I still have this bully wound from my peers in childhood. Confirmation, that I have to look at. And I'm like, okay, all right, we're doing that then, right? And so I just thought it was amazingly cool. To realize like the healing that you think you need it's not always as big as a heal as you make it out to be, right? We're like scared of doing this healing work, the trauma work, and it's like, I can face that demon now. You want me to, I can do that. It was just wild because I thought, the egoic me had pushed it off. No, I don't, that doesn't hurt or whatever. And then I just really needed to sit with this little girl in me for a minute. And I did. And then I was like, wow, that did hurt, that, that did hurt. I don't know. So it's like, yeah. And then I wrote, let go of the judge, thinking inner bully, like they constantly worrying mother effer. You got to let go of that person that just wants to bring up the worst times and experiences in order to determine your future, right? They're like, no, but this happened, so we have to do things this way, or we have to be this way, or let go of that thinking judge that's constantly like imagining the worst, right? And grasp, I said, choose to imagine the best, choose to align with your highest, happiest self, your highest timeline, right? And then I wrote, sit in nature, breathe, babe, just breathe, And it was funny because like normally Spirit just kicked me out the door without even letting me grab my phone or think about it. But normally Renee would have her phone so she could take pictures of ducks and water and all this stuff. And I could record my experience or like put it in my phone somehow, but not this time. Nope. Spirit was like, you feeling it. You raw dog in life, bitch. So I thought it was funny because like I had such a profound experience and I was like, no, I don't even have I don't know. So it forced me into a form of creativity, which I think we're being called to create. You know what I mean? Like something cool. Just, I'm going to make a vision board today. I've been putting it off forever. There's no reason to, right? I mean, there is reason. I've been working and stuff, but I have the opportunity to do that. It's my day off. Plus I'm sick. So I might as well like use this time wisely. You know what I mean? But I felt called to make a message. So here I am. And I think you're being called to like listen to that inner wisdom is what I heard, that inner heart space that's like, hey, do this. And it's just a little whisper. You're like, oh, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? It's just like I got kicked out the door. Hey, go and walk. And I found this cool rock that has just a little divot in it for your thumb. It's perfectly square and it fits my finger perfect. Where is it? Oh, see? It's perfect. It's this cute little teeny rock and there's a little thumbprint in it. And the whole time I was like, what the heck? Yeah. I have this little rock and it just is like, it's made for me. And it reminded me of like us individually, we're made to be here and we're not made to think otherwise. I mean, we are made to think otherwise. And now we have the choice to tell ourselves differently, to choose a new story, right? We're made to be us. So we should be us. Okay. And then I wrote, the only person you truly need is you. So let yourself love you for once, right? Instead of like filling your, and then I wrote, don't fill the wound with another person. Fill it with self-love, health, wealth, gratitude, being. Get right with your mind, body, and soul, right? That's what we're being called to do. Take time to go inward and root yourself deeply within yourself, right? Find that time for yourself. And then I wrote, it's time to acknowledge that it hurt and that we still need to feel it to heal it. So go sit with little you, give her a hug, give him or her a hug. And then I wrote, you're breaking generational trauma, becoming your fiercest ally, your own best friend. So yeah. And then, I don't know, we'll get through this. We'll try. Sparrows are simplicity, resistance, freedom, and humility. They're a messenger from either spirit messages or a visit from a loved one. And then, 646, balance, home, support. Support from your angels, like recognizing we are divinely guided in this entire existence. And we're just guided, man. And we need to sink into knowing that rather than like not trusting our timing or our weight is what I heard. But trusting the weight has been a big one lately. 848, empowerment, abundance, and karmic rewards. 22, master builder, divine purpose, long-term vision. And then I wrote white hats. Traditionally, the good guys, spiritual guides, protectors, you're divinely guided. And you might have some white hat hackers, which like some spiritual keyboard warriors on your team. That came from the white hats. 313, creative expression, divine support, forward momentum. Never doubt where you're going. So yeah. Where was I? Pharaoh, ancient power, authority, spiritual leadership, shadow side. You're being called to sink into your spiritual leadership as well as your shadow side in order to like hone in on your gifts. All right, guys, I hope this helps. Sorry I didn't make it to the end.